Did the girls at anyone else's high school used to lie about the most random stuff? The biggest one that comes to mind, honestly, is girls lying about being a natural blonde. I dye my hair, so like I get it. For some reason in high school, it was like really controversial to dye your hair blonde. Like there would be debates about it. Because of this, a lot of girls would lie about dyeing their hair. They would have roots like darker than mine. It would be like, yeah, I'm a natural blonde. I remember one girl getting called out. Someone was like, but your roots are dark. And she was like, no, it just needs to get lightened by the sun first. Another thing girls used to lie about was being a model. And I have a kind of funny story about this. There was this one girl who told us all that she was a Victoria's Secret model. And I immediately was like, that's cap. She's not a Victoria's Secret model. Because Victoria's Secret doesn't hire some random 15-year-old. But she was like, no, I'm a Victoria's Secret model. Like my shoot is coming out soon. Like you guys will see. When it came out, I kid you not, it was her in a parking lot shot by some amateur photographer. And she was wearing Victoria's Secret pink leggings. Pink like the brand. That was it. That was her being a Victoria's Secret model. Just like, why would you lie about that? This wasn't a super common lie, but I remember one girl lying about having a yacht. She would try and say it so casually too. Yeah, my family and I were taking the yacht out for the weekend. Mind you, I went to a public school. Like, we were not super rich, wealthy people. So I was like, there's no way this girl has a yacht. Those cost like probably $1 million. I, of course, was like, do you have a photo of said yacht? And she was like, no, my family and I like to keep things really private. And why are you telling us all about your yacht if you like to keep things private? Another common one, girls would lie about not growing hair. I distinctly remember being in PE class and some girls would have like, you know, super smooth hairless legs. And then you'd ask them like, oh, do you shave your legs? And they'd be like, no, it's so weird. I don't grow any hair on my legs. Even if you were like slow to develop, you definitely were growing some hair by that point. I swear some of these girls would literally have stubble and they would still be like, no, I just don't grow hair. It's so weird. My legs are just naturally smooth like a baby's. On that same note, girls would lie a lot about like wearing false eyelashes. They'd be wearing like the Ardell wispies and they'd be like, these are just my natural lashes. Be so for real. Okay, this last one didn't annoy me too much because I just kind of assumed they were lying. But when girls or guys would lie about how much they studied, like there'd always be that one person that was like, guys, I'm so nervous. I didn't study at all last night. I got no sleep. Like, I don't know the material. I'm so gonna fail. And then you get the test back and you'd be like, oh, what did you get? 97. There's zero chance you didn't study, okay? Obviously, I know some people are natural geniuses, but like given the amount of people that would have that same story in high school, I just refuse to believe you all are telling the truth. I just want to end this by saying there's nothing wrong with having all of these things. There's nothing wrong with dyeing your hair, nothing wrong with being studious and studying. I think a lot of times people lie about these things because they feel maybe insecure. Like if you're studying, it makes you less smart. Or if you're dyeing your hair, it makes you less beautiful. And it really doesn't. It's okay to do these things. Okay, that's all for today. See ya!
Get rid of me while I tell y'all about how there was a fight at my school today. But it wasn't just a normal fight. It was between a student and a teacher. Okay, so we start off like at the start of science, okay? Basically, this teacher she just has a problem with everyone. Like, someone in the fucking class coughed and she like told them off. And basically there was this girl sitting behind me and her and a friend kept talking, right? Which honestly, I understand that she was talking, but like everyone in the class was talking. And so this teacher, instead of just normally telling the student to be quiet, she tells her to shut up, right? And this girl, like, she's known for fights and stuff. And she starts, like, arguing back. Like, she was like, who are you telling me to shut up? Like, who do you think you are? And then this teacher starts fighting back with the student. And, like, starts saying stuff about her. Like, she was like, this is why you're failing the class, because you don't ever listen to what I have to say. And then the girl's like, she got mad about that. And then the teacher was like, you're going to be nothing. You know, you're never going to succeed if you don't actually pay attention in school. And then this girl got real mad, y'all. Like, she was so mad. And at this point, like, this girl had actually got up from her seat and went over to the teacher, and they were literally, like, arguing face to face. And so, I don't actually know what the teacher said. Like, me and my friend were literally just, like, laughing about it. Like, we were, like, everyone was kind of in shock. Like, what the hell is going on? Everyone in the class was kind of talking as well, because everyone was just like, oh my god, like, what the hell? And then I've heard that apparently the teacher said something about her mom. Yeah. And her family. And so the girl swung. And punched the teacher in the fucking face. Yeah. And then the teacher started fighting back. She like pulled her hair and smacked her. And then we were all just kind of like, what the hell? And then this boy from my class went and got a teacher from outside. And obviously told them what was happening. And the teacher came in, braked it up. And then I think the teacher got fired. And I think the girl is suspended for quite a while. But yeah, that is how there was a fight at my school between teacher and student.
You know how everyone's talking about their friends that they had that secretly hated them? That reminds me of a tale. Story time. So this begins in 4th grade. There was a new girl in my class. Every time there was a new kid, I would love making friends with them. I was so shy in elementary school. Anyone who didn't have a preconceived connotation of me, I just wanted to befriend them. So I'm driving home from school with my mom, and literally like 3 houses down from me, I see her playing in her front yard. So the next day at school, I said to her, do you live in, and I said my neighborhood, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, I live right there. And she was like, cool. I don't know how we became friends after that, but we did. We were attached at the hip. We hung out every single day for years. Now we're in 7th grade. I'm noticing that she's starting to get a little boy crazy. If you've ever had a girlfriend that's boy crazy, you know where this story is heading. Girls that prioritize men and male validation, they're gonna choose guys over you 10 out of 10 times. Every time I would hang out with her, she would be texting boys. We'd be jumping on the trampoline, and she would stop every 2 minutes to pull out her little Envy phone and text some boys. As a 7th grader, she started doing acts with this one boy in particular, and I had no interest in that. I was literally 12. I was nowhere near that. So we were already starting to go on some different paths here. So one day we had another friend that was mutual, both of us, and we were all hanging out at my house. I need to give the girl a name. The boy crazy girl, her name is Anna in this story. Anna is like, let's go to the high school football game. And the other friend we were with, let's call her Cheryl. Me and Cheryl and Anna get there, and immediately Anna ditches us to talk to some boys. Me and Cheryl are just kind of there like, what do we do now? Also, this is one of like the first times that Cheryl has hung out with us. After like a few hours of Anna completely ditching us, she's just talking to these boys the whole time. And I do want to note too, these weren't even cool boys. They were kind of like weird. They were just gross. Like, I'm sorry. If you're gonna be obsessed with some boys, at least make them cute. Cheryl says to me, look, I'm nervous. I didn't tell my mom that I was gonna be here. It's getting dark. Like, can we please go back? I was like, yeah, like that's not a problem. So I call my mom to pick me up. I'm telling Anna, like, look, Cheryl has to go home. Like, I wanna leave. I'm not really having fun either. We're gonna go. You can come with us if you want. Things are about to get really juicy, but go to part 2.
There's nothing more fake than a friend who like lurks on your social medias and does not comment anything on your account and just completely views all your stuff without saying anything. A lot of people can argue with me and be like, oh my god, it's just social media, why is it a big deal? But if you have that friend that's constantly posting on their story or constantly like posting anything in general, whatever you do post, they never comment. They're always the first one to view everything you post. They consider themselves like your friend. Like, I'm sorry, like I feel like there's like a certain type of boundary to this. I feel like when it comes to my friends posting on social media, I feel like I'm like extremely supportive when it comes to it. Social media is like the way I keep up with people. If a friend posts something on like Instagram or like Snapchat, of course I'm going to comment, of course I'm going to support, be like, oh my god, so pretty. That's my friend. Like, I'm going to support you. Like, usually when it comes to Instagram stories, I am the first person to like mostly every single Instagram story. I don't know why I do this, but every time I see an Instagram story that I like, I will genuinely heart it. But I feel like the rules are different when someone's especially active on Instagram and they're actively posting. I'm going out of my way and commenting and liking all your posts, and you're not doing the same to me, and you're just like absolutely lurking. I'm going to get like a bad vibe from it. I don't know, feel like it's just different because I've been posting consecutively on TikTok, and like I've noticed who comments and who doesn't comment. Don't get me wrong, I don't expect you to comment on every single one of my posts, but like if you're active on social media and I'm hyping you up like mostly half the time, can't you do the same for me? Without mean girl energy. God, you know what the worst is too? Personally, what I think is the worst is when you post on your private story and then you have these lurkers who like don't interact with your private story. I have 2 private stories, so I have like a main one where I just post like mostly just like basic pictures for like 100 people to see. I also have my private, which I realize a lot of girls do, which has like 12 people. It's all girls. I call it future MILFs only. I've had it for like 3 years. My boyfriend is on my private story because like he doesn't even view Snapchat, so I just keep him on like my main story. The main point of my private is to post stuff so people can view it and also like interact with me because they're mostly just like my 10 closest friends. Posting something, usually I'll like post an outfit or something and I'll be like, oh, is this cute? Like swipe up. You don't swipe up. I'm sorry. Like I just feel like that's freaking weird. Like I post it and like you're one of the first people to view it and you don't say anything, like crickets. Like that's awkward. I don't even know if I'm making sense. It's literally like 7:30 in the morning right now and I'm exhausted. It really applies to like a certain extent of people, especially if you're just like active on social media. If not, like I wouldn't really like think too deep into this. It really just truly gives off mean girl energy. You guys have a great day and I'll talk soon. Bye.
One time I was friends with this girl and every single thing that came out of her mouth was a lie. Everything. So I met this girl maybe about 1.5 years ago, and for the sake of the story, we are going to call her Jessica. So I really liked Jessica at first. She was really funny. We had very similar style, similar humor. We had a lot of the same friends, and she just like, she was really pretty, and she just seemed like a really funny girl who was kind of just like me. Like, I felt like I really resonated with her and I really related to her. So Jessica had really good style. She was always wearing like Aviator Nation and Lululemon, and her hair was always done, nails were always done. She always had really cute jewelry on. Like, you could tell that this girl had some cash. Or at least appeared to. So, like, as time goes on, she's always mentioning this, this boat, which just so happened to be, like, a really big yacht, and this plane, which kind of happened to be a private jet, that her family supposedly owned, and she was going to take me on this boat and this private jet, and we were going to go to Aspen, we were going to go do this, we were going to go do that. But it just seemed a little fishy. So number one, the place that the boat was docked always changed. One week she would be like, oh, I'm going on the boat, but we have to go to Miami to go get it. Then the next week it was, oh, the boat, it's docked like locally, like it's docked around here. We can go on it anytime. It was never docked in Miami. What are you talking about? Then it was, oh, the boat is in Alaska. It stays in Alaska all the time. It was never docked here. So I was like, that is fishy. Like this, she's got to be lying about something. So I think she could tell that I was getting suspicious about her story. So one day when I was out of town at the time, she invites me to go on the boat. And of course, like I had to say no, like I was not physically able to, like I was physically elsewhere, like in another state. I might have even been in another country. I don't remember. So then she moves on to like telling me about this private jet. So one time she shows me a picture of the private jet. The private jet is white and it has beige seats on the inside. It's got like the gold buckles and like, but she never had any pictures of her on the private jet, which I'm like, okay, that's a little weird, but like maybe she just doesn't take pictures on the private jet. Maybe she hasn't had it that long. Like, and I'm a good person. I really try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I never expect people to lie to me because I don't really lie to other people. I feel like it's kind of unnecessary. So after a while, people started coming to me and they're like, yeah, she's a liar. She's crazy. She lied about this last year. She lied about that last year. And I'm like, okay, I need to cut ties with this girl because if, I'm not saying like believe a rumor, but like if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then it probably is a duck. And quack, quack, quack. One day she just like texts me and she's like, why aren't you talking to me? Blah, 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 blah. Are you believing what the people are saying? So I call her because like I wanted to talk things out, and she folds. She tells me that everything is a lie. Private jet, this, that. And she said that she lied because she wanted me to like her so much. Because she thought that I was a certain person who only talked to certain people. And she just wanted to be my friend. And turns out the private jet and the yacht like weren't like the true extent of what she was lying about. She lied about having a fucking dog. How do you lie about having a dog? Whenever the dog was barking when I was like on FaceTime with her and on FaceTime with other people, she was playing dog barking sounds on her iPad really low. What in the freaking fraud is this? What? Who the fuck lies about having a dog? I just can't. I was baffled. I was in shock. And I was like, now that you're telling this to me, it's gonna make me definitely not want to be friends with you now. Like, you don't need to lie to me for me to want to become friends with you. Like, that's just not how it works. Like, if you want people to be friends with you, don't lie. Like, there's, like, types of friends you shouldn't be friends with. And one of them is the liar. And you were being the liar. So after that, I decided I can't be friends with someone who lies. And I cut contact with her, and that was the last I ever heard from her. Oh, yeah. And did I forget to mention, for legal reasons only, this story is fictional. For legal reasons. And so the moral of this story is to just really be careful who you're friends with. And if it seems too good to be true, it 100% is. It usually always is. And don't be friends with a liar. So that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you all have a great day. Slay always love y'all. Bye.
Get ready with me while I tell you guys about the story that I got sent. So it started off by me meeting this guy a few months before COVID started. We were texting for a while, getting to know each other, and eventually I started to like him. We were going out, and eventually my girl best friend moved around my area. We were hanging out a lot, and I eventually told her about my boyfriend. She was happy for me, but then she started acting weird. She hits him up, and he ends up sending me a screenshot of her trying to get at him. She asked me if I wanted to hang out, so I was like, okay, sure. So whenever I went to her house, I ended up confronting her about it. She got mad at me and told me why I would ever think that she'll hit up on my boyfriend, but then I showed her the proof. After I showed her the proof, she kicked me out of her house, and I went straight to my boyfriend's house. When I went to my boyfriend's house, I told him what happened, and he told me to drop her. So then I dropped her, and then COVID started, so I couldn't see my boyfriend as much. We take a little break because COVID did start and we couldn't really see each other, but we'll still text seeing how we were doing. Then my best friend sends me a snap of them together. And the reason why they had a chance seeing each other more is because they were in a gated community together and they lived like 30 seconds away from each other. When she sent me the snap, she didn't have one boyfriend, but she had two. But then I stab her back and tell her what she's doing with my ex, and she just blocks me. But then I text my ex and I tell him that I want nothing to do with him and that I don't want to hear from him anymore. Moving forward to this year, we talked about it and made a solution. Now we're all good with each other, but we're not friends. Okay, that is the end of the story, but let me give you guys some feedback. First of all, that friend isn't your friend. And I hope that you cut contact with her, and if you did, good job. I know it's hard to cut off contact with a friend that you're best friends with, but if you did so, proud of you. And for your ex to be letting himself like that, and then your ex, he doesn't even have any respect, so don't go back to him. I know how girls be with their ex, just don't. At the end of the day, keep your head up and be careful on who you hang out with.
The drama in my life right now isn't even mine. It's like the shit I overhear in the school bathroom, and now I'm like invested. Yesterday I was in there minding my business, doing my business, and these two girls come in, not to use the bathroom. What they were talking about was wild. Now, before I continue, I'm not judging. It's your life. You do you. It's just crazy to hear. Now, I know a decent amount of people in my grade and the grade below me. So, then these people I didn't recognize, so which means they were like freshmen, or maybe sophomores, but probably freshmen. So this one girl's like, oh my god, like, I like your bracelet, or like something. She gave her a compliment, and she's like, thanks, like, I got it yesterday. Oh, where'd you get it? And she was like, oh, I stole it. And I was like, oh, okay. Stealing is not that uncommon, so that wasn't the big shock. And then the other girl was like, oh, it's so cute, like, do you think you could steal me one? The other girl was like, oh yeah, like, I can steal it after school, like, isn't your birthday soon? Like, it can be your birthday present, we can, like, do it together. And I was like, oh my god, that's a really interesting way to bond. And then a third girl walks in, and she's like, yo, not saying names, I got your shit. And then one of the girls walks away, and then the other two girls start making out. Again, you do you, like, pop your pussy in the school bathroom, but they were like making out, and I'm sitting there like, they started doing whatever they're doing, and I'm sitting there like, fuck, I can't leave the bathroom right now. That's, like, weird. So they finish sucking face, and one of the girls is like, okay, like, I love you, bye. And she leaves the bathroom. And then another girl came in. I could tell because I was washing their shoes. Another girl came in and starts making out with the girl that was just making out with the other girl who just did the drug deal with the other girl. And they're, like smacking on each other, too. And then the new girl who just came in is talking about some, like, oh, is your ex still bothering you? Like, God, she's so annoying. And the girl's like, yeah, she was just in here, like, stalking me. Like, it was so weird. I was like, oh, you, what? So then I come out the bathroom, because I've been in there for a really long time, and I'm like, I give her, like, the, like, smile, you know what I mean? And she was like, hi, and I was like, hi. And then I went back to class, and now every day I've been looking at everybody's shoes, trying to figure out who the fuck these girls were. Love you, and I will report back.
I'm gonna tell you guys a crazy story time while I get ready. I've been wanting to tell you guys this for so long, but I wasn't sure if I was, like, allowed to talk about it or anything. So basically, let's fast forward to October of last year. So I went out for my best friend's birthday at a club in Montreal. And I brought with me a good old fake YSL bag. And this wasn't just, like, a really good fake bag. This was, like, a horrible fake. Like, it was really bad. My sister's friend gave it to her, and I took it. And I brought it with me to the club. At said club, I left it at the booth with my wallet, my cards, my keys, pretty much everything that made me a person. And while one thing led to another, you can assume what happened. It got stolen. Now, the funny thing about when it got stolen is very weird. When I noticed it got stolen, I think it was within like 20 minutes, and I blocked my debit card right away. And I was looking, and I saw that there was attempt of charges at like Co-op West Island. And for those of you that don't know, Co-op West Island is essentially just a taxi service in the West Island. So I had assumed that it would be someone who stole it. Definitely was from the West Island. But whatever, it was my fault. I was the one that left my bag. I take full responsibility. I obviously report that my bag is missing. Not like the police are actually going to be able to do anything. Now, fast forward 6 months later, we still have a mailbox open for my grandfather. Even though he passed away, we still have it open. And my dad went to go check it one day, and then he opens the box, and there it is, my keys. My keys at the time had these tags on it that would deliver it or ship it to your house or something like that. It's basically like a key protection thing. So if you find someone's keys, just drop them in the mailbox, and it'll somehow get back to them. That happened 6 months later. My keys were returned, but on my wallet, my bag, I had all my friends' car keys in that bag. Everything I owned was in that bag. Let's fast forward to August. I came home from vacation and I ordered myself an iPad. With said iPad, I was gonna have it shipped to my house, but I wasn't home because it was such an expensive product. Purelator automatically Purelator already technically ships it back to the company, and then you have to go and pick it up. I received a notification that my package had been attempted to be shipped, but I wasn't home, so now it's at Purelator, so I have to go pick it up. Not a problem. I've done that with pretty much all my things, my iPhone, all that stuff. So this wasn't very new to me. So I pull up the next day, and I walk in, and I'm like, hi, like, I'm here for my package, na-na-na. And the girl goes, oh, someone already picked it up. So I was like, what? I was like, excuse me, like, aren't I supposed to give you a photo ID, like, that matches the address on file? She goes, no, we just need, like, an ID, like, with the address or something like that. And I started freaking out, and I was like, wait a minute, you gave my iPad away to someone else that had my ID. Am I hearing this correct? She's like, yeah, this happens all the time. You need to call the police. So first I call my dad, bawling my eyes out. I'm like, Dad, like, someone stole my iPad. But I wasn't even worried about that. I was worried about the fact that someone had my ID and somehow knew that I ordered an iPad and it was shipped to Purelator. Someone who was there that night that my stuff got stolen somehow knew about this. So we call the police and come back for part 2.